All right, folks, I apologize. I don't know what happened. I was only seeing one person, but now it's everyone else has shown up. So the court of call CV296-24DC. This is in the marriage of Laura Kristen Langdale and Kenneth Henry Langdale. And our counsel, are you ready to proceed?
I'm ready.
Ready, Your Honor.
All right. Let me have the parties raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm testimony you'll give before this court to be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Miss Langdale.
I do.
Mr. Langdale. Mr. Langdale, did you answer in the affirmative? I didn't see you or hear you. All right. Thank you, sir. And Ms. Pratt, you represent the petitioner. You may proceed.
Thank you. I call Laura Langdale.
All right.
Are you Laura Langdale?
I am.
And are the last three numbers of your driver's license 167?
They are.
Are the last three numbers of your social 732?
They are.
Is it correct prior to the date we filed the original petition for divorce that you had been a domiciliary of Texas for the preceding 6-month period and a resident of Hill County for the preceding 90-day period?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it correct there's no protective order currently in effect? Is the protective order currently in effect? The protective order is currently in effect, and we attached a copy of it to
Bond
the
conditions.
exhibit. So the protective order has expired, but there are bond conditions.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Were you married to the respondent on or about January 6, 2020, and did you cease to live together as spouses on or about May 2nd, 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you asking for the divorce to be granted on the ground of insupportability because of discord or conflict of personalities between the parties that destroys the legitimate ends of the marriage relationship and prevents any reasonable expectation of reconciliation?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it correct there's no child born or adopted of this marriage and none is expected?
No, ma'am.
Have you reached an agreement regarding all issues for the division of the marital estate?
Yes, we have.
Is each party going to be awarded their own household furniture and furnishings, personal effects, cash and bank accounts subject to their sole control, life insurance, ensuring that party's life, that party's own brokerage accounts, and profit sharing, retirement, employee pensions, annuities, and IRAs?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you going to be awarded the 2020 Toyota Tundra Limited?
Yes, ma'am.
And will you also be awarded the total sum of $150,000 paid by the respondent to you on the date of divorce in order to equalize the division of the marital estate and not as alimony?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you also getting a 2020 King Gulfstream Coach Streamlight Transport RV?
Yes, ma'am.
Was there a debt owed on that?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
did the respondent give you a check to pay that off?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
did you send it in to pay it off?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you getting some miscellaneous items we've listed, including your laptop, some miscellaneous furniture, and a zero-turn 4.0 lawnmower?
Yes, ma'am.
Will he be getting some dogs, Gretchen, Grace, and Ruger, Kawasaki Mule, a black refrigerator, washer and dryer, as well as a 2024 Toyota Tundra?
Yes, ma'am.
With regard to debt, is each party keeping their own debt, any debt on property that they're awarded? And you're keeping your own medical debt?
Yes, ma'am.
In addition to the 150,000, is he also going to give you $10,000 as moving expenses for you to move off of his separate property land?
Yes, ma'am.
And will you confirm receipt of $5,000 of that 10,000?
Yes, ma'am.
So he only the decree says 10,000, but he only owes you 5
Correct.
plus the 150.
Correct.
Are you going to have 14 days to get everything off and leave the property starting today?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that anything left there is going to be awarded to him?
Correct.
Is he going to deliver to my office some totes, plastic totes that have some of your personal property in it?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you going to leave the keys with me and he can come here and pick them up?
Yes, ma'am.
Do both of you have some separate property, which we specifically outlined in the decree?
Correct.
And as part of respondent's separate property, it's interest in all the real property that he owns or has an interest in at this time, as well as a couple accounts and burial plots.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you asking that your name be changed to Laura Kristen, Kristen Langford, Langford?
I am.
For calendar year 2024, are you each going to file separate federal income tax returns?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you both going to be joint and mutually enjoined from communicating in a manner that is vulgar, profane, or obscene?
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, it's not a joint mutual, only he's going to be enjoined from speaking to you that way. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And he can't disturb your peace, and he's waiving the writ.
Correct.
Each party's paying their own attorney's fees and court costs. You understand that we didn't conduct discovery in this case, that making this agreement is based on what you've told me only about your knowledge of the financial affairs of the parties.
Yes, ma'am.
And if we go to court, the judge could award much more than you're getting today, or he could award much less.
Correct.
But you're agreeing that the amount that we've settled on is a just, right, fair distribution of the assets and liabilities.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you asking the judge to make this his order today?
Yes, ma'am.
I pass the witness.
Any
Your Honor,
questions?
I have no questions for Ms. Pratt.
All right. Would you like to call your client, Ms. Hauser?
Yes, Your Honor, I call Mr. Kenneth Henry Langdale.
All right, you may proceed.
Mr. Langdale, have you heard the testimony of Ms. Laura Langdale today?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you in agreement with her testimony that this divorce should be granted on the grounds of insupportability?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you listen to the division of property as read out in the agreed final decree of divorce?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you in agreement with all of the provisions of the final divorce decree?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any objections as to what Ms. Langdale has testified to today in regards to the final divorce decree?
No, ma'am.
Do you believe this is a just and right division of all marital estates?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. I pass the witness.
No questions.
Court will find the marriage insupportable, grant the divorce, approve the division of assets and debts, restoration of name, the issuance of the injunction, and we'll be in recess.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you all. I'm going to
Your
start that
Honor.
up. I'll start that
Your
up
Honor.
in just a moment.